Hello family, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video. Guys, as always, I like to say thanks to all of our new subscribers. Thank you for liking and sharing the content as we continue to bring you engaging content. Guys, you know this is not financial advice, okay? I'm just a 52-year-old man that makes video about my portfolio and my portfolio alone. But today I want us to talk about something that kind of crossed my path, and I was like, you know what, let me just have a conversation with my folks and you guys let me know what you guys think. Now also, I did something interesting today that I'm going to share with you guys also. Now the reason what I want to share this with you guys, because I'm a YouTuber, as you want to call it, a content creator or whatever. So I do watch other people's content, and as I was strolling, this popped up in my feed about saving money. And I tell you guys all the time, right? Saving money is key, yes, but if you put money into your saving account, right? Let's say you try to save $500 a month, and then at the end of the month, you go back in and pull that $500 out and spend that $500. Are you really saving any money at all? I'm gonna let you guys answer that question if you guys watch this video and get to this point. My answer is no. You're not saving anything. You're just practicing or whatever, doing a recurring process where you're pulling funds for later and using it. You're not saving anything. For me, my strategy to save money will be to open another account that you don't have a credit card access to that account, and if you need to transfer funds out of the account, it's going to take at least a couple of days to transfer funds out of that account, right? So except if it's an emergency, I mean, usually you can wait a couple of days to get the funds to pay for stuff, but other than that, you don't need to have quick access to the funds, okay? And instead of you putting $500-600 in there every month that you're gonna go and pull out, if you get paid twice a month, do $50 every 2 weeks, or every 15 in the first of the month, however you get paid. Do $50 and then work your way up from there, because you don't want to. And once you get in the habit of putting that money in there, even you can start with $10, right? And that can be automatically withdrawn from your paycheck or from your bank account and sent to the other account. That is automated, so you don't have to touch it. And you can do $25 a paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever, around the time you get paid. So when you get paid, that money is automatically withdrawn from that account and go to the other account. Okay, and you can start that process to kind of build up, that automation process to help you from not touching that money. Now, when you get to the point where, okay, well, you can save 25, you can increase it or whatever. But for me, personally, I don't really save money, right? I really don't. I used to at some point, and then I stopped doing that because I feel like if I have money in my account, it needs to be working for me. So why would I have money sitting in a bank account that paying me less than 1%, right? To have that fund sitting in there, and I call it collecting, cloud dust, right? Because it's not doing anything for you. And the people that those financial institutions that you're putting your money into, they are the ones who making money off of your money, because they take that 500, 200, 300, 5,000, whatever you have in there, and they loan it out to other people and collect big money from that. Okay, so you have to definitely pay attention to these things, right? So now, if you guys if you on YouTube or whatever, you probably heard about people talking about this account right here, right? The cash management account. Okay, it's like a combination between a checking and a savings account, all built in one. And as you can see, is FDIC insure option with up to $5 million. All right, protecting on your cash. So you can have up to $5 million in this account and you'll be good. Okay, and they give you cashbacks. There's no annual fees, and you can use this card anywhere in the world, right? And there's no limits and all that stuff. So now this is, I have this Fidelity Rewards card that I use, but this is not about the Fidelity Reward card. This is about this cash management account. Okay, now if you are, how do I say, if you have problem saving money, this account is similar to an investment account. So you can use this account as an investment account. You can actually buy positions in this account. Okay, and it's pretty much similar to a checking account or a savings account. And you can pay your bill out of it. This is why I opened this account, because I have a lot of investment in Fidelity. So, and once you open this account, you got two options. One, I think it's like 2% interest, and the other one is almost 3%, almost 4%, right? You get return on your money that is sitting in there. That is better than that 1% or 0.00 whatever 1% you get by putting your money into a traditional bank. Now, if you have problems saving money, I think this is the best way to do it, right? You can put your money in here and use it as a checking savings account, and then you can pull the funds to pay your bills out of here, and you still can invest. You can still buy positions in here, right, and invest. You can with this account, you can open up another account, a brokerage account, where you can invest through that brokerage account. Guys, this is, for me, I think is going to be a game changer for me, because I don't have to say, okay, I'm going to transfer money from my old account that I have for over 20 years into my Fidelity account, whatever. I don't have to do that anymore. I can have my money come directly into this stuff and start paying my bills from here, and invest the money that I don't, that's sitting in there collecting 0.0%. That money can be collecting up to 4% sitting in this account. Okay, now I still say if you want to save money, you need to have a separate account that's paying you 4 or 5% that you can touch easily. And this is, you can spend money, do whatever in here. There's so much options, right? And guys, I don't get paid for this, right? You guys know I don't get paid for this. I like to share what I'm doing. And maybe it'll benefit somebody, maybe it won't, but I think it's a good option to people who trying to save money, especially if you have a traditional bank account. Okay, now like I said, I just opened this account last night. I think I did it last night or this morning, whenever I did, I can't really remember now. I think it was last night. Well, I was playing around with this stuff. I opened an account, I put $100 in there, and one of my other buddy was asking me about this. He's like, man, I need to get that Fidelity card that you were talking about. I mean, it's right here. Okay, if you go to the link, you see that Fidelity card right there. You can apply for it, right? The Visa. You can apply for the Visa, and I mean, I like this card because there is no foreign transaction fee. That's important, because every time you transfer, you translate. Every time you give money when you outside the U.S., some of these companies charge you $4 or $5 fees for using the different cards. That's why I like my Charles Schwab account, because I don't have to worry about that. Okay, guys. So this is just something that I wanted to share. Now back to investing and saving money. It is important, right? Like I said, I don't save money, so I'm gonna talk about me, right? I don't have a traditional savings account that I put money into. I do have another savings account that is away from me that I can touch, and usually the proceeds from my other investment properties go into that account, and I pull money from there as needed to pay extra things that come about, and that's it. right? And other than that, I don't really say, oh, you know what, any cash I have, it goes into my investment portfolio because I still have a job that handles, I would say maybe 40% of my bills, right? Which is a big amount. And then my portfolio, some months handle the other 60% of my bills. But I mean, now that I'm doing it more because I'm paying stuff off to help bring down my costs, right? And because my portfolio is a dividend portfolio, and right now it's generating a huge amount of money every month, I can pull some of that money out every month when that income come in, pay some other responsibilities that I have as I'm trying to cut down my debt and raise my credit score up, right? Now you're like, Edwin, but why do you need to raise the credit score up when you have so much income coming into the portfolio? I mean, it's plain and simple because I want to invest in other things. The other day I was sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm building cash generational worth, net worth, but I want to buy apartment buildings. I mean, it's a lot of headaches and stuff to buy apartment buildings because you have to deal with multiple tenants. But if I take that same $1 million, $2 million and put it into a stock portfolio, I don't have to deal with anybody, right? I just collect the cash and do what I do. But as you know, we have children. They don't always want to do what we do. So passing it down onto somebody that will come and say, okay, well, Dad used to do this. I'm going to learn this and do it. It's difficult. But if I have other properties set up, a management company that managing it the right way, whoever comes in, all they got to come in is, okay, you know what? I just got to be CEO and learn this stuff because this stuff they can see. Investing, a lot of people can see. They're like, man, this is scam and all this other stuff. But something that they can see and touch, is more like, okay, well, maybe I can do this, right? Even though for people that are doing dividend investing that have been following this channel, know that it's one of the easiest things to do, right? It just depends on your risk limit because you don't have to buy something that's paying 100% yield. You can buy something that's paying 5 to 10% yield, 12% between 20 and down, 25, between 20 and 5%, you find a sweet spot between there. And if you're collecting 12% yield annually from a $200,000 portfolio, that's about $24K a year, right? If you collect about $200,000 portfolio and you collect about 12%, I mean, I think that's about 24K a year. My math might be off because I'm going on top of my head, but you guys get the idea, right? You get the idea. Especially if you want to live outside the U.S., you don't need a lot of money to live outside the U.S. I was watching another video not too long ago about a guy who's in Thailand or Philippines, older gentleman, who is living off of $400 a month. He's living off of $400 a month, and his actual income that he's getting from retirement is about $1,000. Now, I'm not saying go and do that, right? But if you can survive on $12,000 a year, I mean, I know a lot of people in Colombians that live here and live on less than $2,000 a year. But they do it. I don't know how to do it, but they do it. So for a foreigner coming here and having $12,000 a year, I think it's doable. If you want to live like the locals, kind of like the locals, you can find spots, nice places. I think where I live in Villavicencio, you can get a decent apartment for about, without air conditioning, for about maybe $200 a month. Now, if you want somewhere with AC, you might be spending close to $400 a month. But that's three bedroom, 2.5 bath, air conditioned. But then your lights bill is going to be another $200 to $300 a month, depending on what part of the city you live in. So $1,000, yes, it would do it. It would provide you housing. It might pay your utilities. It might provide some food, but I don't think it's going to be enough. You're going to need at least $1,500 every month, so you can have a cushion. I think $1,500 a month is more than enough to live outside the U.S. But this is not about living outside the U.S. This is about being able to save money and instead of saving money, put that money into a dividend portfolio. Okay, because even if you have $1,000 and that $1,000 generating you $100 every month, you can reinvest that $100, right? You can reinvest that 100 until you get to 200, 300, 400. And eventually, like I tell you guys all the time, I look at it this way. It's like, okay, I need to pay my internet, my cable bill. So my cable bill is about $35 a month in Colombia. In the US, I think it's like $89 or something like that, right? Almost $100, depending on the usage that I use, because I have when I pass my terabyte or whatever limit I have, it goes up sometimes a little bit, right? But $30 to $90, that's a $60 difference in what I pay for internet, and same speed or better. Okay, so if I say I need to invest to cover my bills, right? Once I get to $100, that is generating me $100, and my cable bill is $34. That means I already paid my cable bill 3 times. So every month I'm getting $100. That's paid my cable bill 3 times. So in 4 months, I would have paid my cable bill for the entire year, right? Okay, you say, oh, why you want to do it that way? It's just I'm just throwing a scenario out. So instead of investing that $500 a month, right, you put that into a dividend position, because it's going to pay you down the line. It's going to pay you every single month. It's going to start a little bit at a time, and the thing is, you cannot just go and say, you know what, I need $500. I'm going to go sell my dividend position, because at the time you decide to sell, that position might be down, and it might not be a benefit to you to sell, right? I would say it's my way to say, well, if you get to a certain point, right, you can get a loan from your position. It's not a loan. You can get money against your position. That it's almost like margins, right? It's almost like margins, but it's not margins, right? You can get a loan against your positions, what you have, and then you pay that loan back. Let's say if you have $100,000 in your portfolio and you need $30,000, so you can get a loan against your position, right? And you pay that loan back at a 6%, 5%, whatever the rate is from that particular organization. All of these different brokers do it differently. Now, I'm not telling you to go do that. I'm just saying, a lot of time you want to do a HELOC or all the other stuff. If you have a home, you can do that similar against your portfolio and get that money, right? And do whatever you need to do with it, right? It's just an idea. But you're like, wait a minute, but I only have $1,000. What am I going to get that money from to pay for this stuff? Now, I say this. My boy, he started investing, I think this year. And during his time investing, he said, Edwin, you know something? Before I started investing, I would always it was hard for me to find a way to save $1. But since I started investing, he said, every time I get paid, I put $100 into my investment account. He said, and I was looking back the other day, he's like, if I wasn't investing this money, I probably wouldn't be able to count for this money, because he tracked everything. I gave him those spreadsheets that I give you guys when we have our consultant stuff, our consultation, right? I gave him the same spreadsheet to track his expenses, track his account, track how much money coming into his account, right? I got my daughter mom doing the same thing. And in the beginning, she used to hate that. Why you trying to see how much money I'm spending? Blah blah blah. She used to say that all the time. Why you want to know how much money I'm spending? I'm saying it's not for me. It's for you, because it's so easy to spend money. You all know that. It's easy to go to the mall, spend $50, $100 on some perfume or cologne or top or whatever. It's so easy to do. And then later on you realize, like, man, why did I spend that money when I could do so much more? It's the same thing. You know, like saving money. Why would I want to save money and collect 1%? You know, and when I tell people that stuff, it's like, man, I don't know. You know, at one point, yes, I used to have my 6 months expenses. But at this point, I don't need 6 months expenses because my portfolio is generating 3 months. Well, yeah, 3 months, 4 months expenses every month. So if my portfolio is generating that much every month, why do I need to have 3 to 6 months expenses put aside? It doesn't make no sense. I might as well just put that money into some investments that are generating 20-30% every single month, right? For me, I don't know about everybody else. Okay, you can start wherever works for you. You can start there, right? But people talk about saving money. You know, when you hang out, when have you ever talked to well, you probably would never do that because you're not at that level. But have you ever watched any kind of content with rich people and they talk about saving money or what they have saved? I'm not talking about somebody that got $1 million, $2 million. Maybe those guys consider rich, multi-million dollars. I mean, I'm not a multi-millionaire, right? I only got one, but people at that level, they don't really talk about savings account, right? They talk about investment account. Because why would you want to save money when your portfolio is generating $300,000-$400,000, $500,000-$600,000 every month? I mean, the more money you have, the more income is generated. Of course, people diversify their portfolio to where, for me, to where I'm not at the higher risk as I am now. But that comes with time, right? And of course, you know, I spend money. It's not like I don't spend money. I spend money going back and forth, flying, making sure my daughter gets what she needs, making sure her mom gets what she needs to make sure my daughter is okay. Those kind of things we all do, right? And I was talking to her today. We were sitting there. We went to the mall, and I was like, you know, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, she said, you talking about your video? I was like, yeah. She said, so what you going to do? I said, I have no idea. But it never fails. Whenever I sit in front of this computer and turn the camera on, there's always something that comes to mind to have a conversation about. That's why I tell you guys all the time, I don't do nothing scripted. When I sat here, open up this tool to start recording the video, I was like, cash management account. Boom, that pop up. Okay, and then that come from saving money, talking about, it's like different stuff. But only you know your situation, right? When I talked to my cousin, he was like, bro, I need to do this. What account should I put money into? I said, well, I mean, this is where I got my money. So, I mean, if you need to put money out right away, I won't recommend it. But if you don't need this money for another 3 or 4 years, I mean, you can put in there and monitor it. He said, okay. And when I went to visit, I was like, bro, what happened? He's like, man, my wife didn't want me to do it. I say, hey, she's not comfortable. So you have to make her feel comfortable. You have to say, babe, okay, this is what I've been doing with my account, right? And this is where I'm at from where I started. This is where I'm at now. And this is what my account is generating every month as I go to sleep, as I go to work. If I don't work, my account is generating this. And when she see that, you be like, oh, okay, start small, right? You have $1, she have $1 coming in from all these other positions that are paying $1, $2 every month. She see that money coming in, boop, 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 boop. I got $50 today. And I didn't have to go to work to make that $50. It might be 1 hour or 2 hours of your work, but at the time you're getting that money coming in, you're not working for it. So that can be your savings account, right? People say, oh, well, you know, I've been ready bought clothes. I buy clothes, right? I buy clothes and stuff like that, but am I a big shopper like that? No. I spent thousands of dollars on my kids, right? And then I wear stuff like I got on that I had for 7, 8 years, and I wear the same stuff because I feel comfortable in the stuff. It's not that, oh, I don't want to spend money. It just, I don't care about spending money on myself like that. I might buy some nice shoes. I love shoes. I'm a shoes guy. I love shoes. I love ribbons. If I see a nice ribbon that fits my face real nice, I'm gonna buy it, right? I don't be like, oh, how much is the Ray-Bans? Oh, it's $200. Oh, that's too much. No, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go and buy it because I like it. I want it. If I see a pair of shoes, like, that might look nice on me. I don't care about the price, right? Because I'm not doing it every week. I'm not doing it every month. I might do it once or twice a year. Where I give me a pair of shoes, and usually I buy them in twos, right? Or I give me a pair of Ray-Bans. I might buy 2 Ray-Bans every year because I break them, I drop them, they go on my shade, on my hat, and I forget and I move the hat, boom, they fall and they break. Okay, I'll get another one, right? People spend money on food, good food. They go eat $200-300 in one meal, and that's $200-300 gone. But I can wear my Ray-Bans for years if I don't drop them. In this video, the Ray-Bans you see me having on in this video, I still have that today, and I had that probably 2 or 3 years. But I don't have one pair, I have multiple pairs. So I know you're like, Edwin, why? But what does got to do with anything? It got to do with saving money. Because the thing about it is we worry about what other people think. And when you don't have it, of course you worry about, I wonder what Peter is going to think about me if I don't have money. I wonder what James is going to think about me if I don't have money. But when you do have money, you don't give a shit. You don't care what somebody else thinks about you. Only people that don't have money think about that, right? And then the other person's like, man, Edwin, everything is about you, got to do with money. For the most part, because money is a tool, okay? And the people that don't have money, they're the one that think it's a bad thing. But if you have it, it's a tool to get you what you need to get to. If I didn't have money, I won't be able to fly back and forth from the United States to Colombia or DR or go to Africa or go to Europe. I won't be able to do that, right? But because I have it, I can say, you know what? I'm tired of sitting in Cartagena. I'm going to Bogota. Am I going to take a car that takes 2 days or a day and a half? No, I'm going to get on a plane and fly there or go to other country because I can and because I can afford it. I don't have to worry about, oh damn, I got to pay a bill tomorrow. So you don't have to worry about those kind of things, right? But if you think about saving money, it's okay to save money if you need to buy something. Let's say I need to buy something that costs a couple of $1,000s. Yes, I'll put the money aside. Or I need to buy a house or something like that in the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah, I might put that money into investment and then move that money out of the investments gradually. But then the money can go down, right? So it's better to put it in something that will give you 4 or 5% interest or return with no risk, right? You just put the money in there and it sits there. Boom, that's it. In 5 years' time, when you get to how much money you need, you go and buy whatever you need to get, you need to get right. But if you need to save money for retirement or save money for whatever, that's why I always have multiple accounts for different things. When I decided to buy a car, I sold my BMW. I put that $15,000 into the investment for my car, and before I transferred that money out of Charles Schwab, that money was paying enough to cover my car payment. Just like now, that $15,000 I have, almost $15,000 I have in that portfolio, covers my car payment. And that's for my car. So as long as I have that car, I never have to reach into my pocket if I just pull the money from that portfolio, right? But let's say if I save the $15,000 and take the $15,000 and pay the car cash, okay, that's good. Guess what? $15,000 is gone. I will never see that again. But putting that $15,000 into the investment account that generate income, now that $15,000 is going to be around for as long as I allow it and allow it to mature and manage it, right, it's going to continue to generate me income, right? Let's say I save to buy a car, I buy a car, money gone. But if I put that money that I save into an investment account that generate me $6,000-$7,000 a month, now that $15,000 will get me, it'll get me a new car every 4 or 5 years, right? Because it will continue to pay for my next car. Because when this car is paid off, when I go to get another, if I decide, oh, I want to get a new car, all I gotta do is trade it in for whatever the value is after 4 years, and I don't have to come out of my pocket for a down payment, because that car within 4 or 5 years is still going to be valuable, right? It's still going to be worth $10,000-$15,000 if you're having a wreck or nothing like that, and go buy another new car, and that money that's in that account is continuing to just pay for you a new car every 4 or 5 years. And guess what? That account is still growing, because the amount that you're generating is not covering. You're not taking the entire amount out to pay for your car. I mean, you can get a new car for, in the U.S. now, the average car payment is about $500-$600, maybe more, right? But if you got $1,000 coming from this portfolio, if you got 20 grand, and you got it'll probably it's generating you more than $1,000, right? Maybe $1,500-$1,600 from $20,000. That's enough to cover your insurance and the car, and you're still gonna have about $400 or $500 left over, right? Depending on how good your credit score is and how good your driving record is, to continue to pay for you a car. So you take the same strategy and say, you know what? Okay, I don't want to buy a house, but I want to rent an apartment. What is my amount that I got to pay for rent? Okay, I got to pay $1,500, $1,600, maybe $2,000 a month. Okay, how much money do I need to pay for my rent every month? $2,000 a month. Okay, let's say I have $50,000 in an account, right? Every month, that portfolio is going to generate $2,500, $3,000, whatever, holding that 50 grand. That's going to pay your rent or house note or whatever you have. And that money is not going to go down, because you're not using the whole $2,500. You're using maybe $1,800 to pay for that spot you live in, and that money continue to grow. And you're paying for a place to stay. Guys, you know, it's simple. When I started doing this, I was like, man, I'm gonna have an account for everything that I do, right? And then as the time went on, I said, you know what? I have my car insurance, one bill, one account. My cost of living, my house, food, all that stuff, one account, right? That's how come I separated them, Charge Swap and Fidelity. Okay, plain and simple. If I need to save money for whatever I need to save money for, I don't know, I put it in my Fidelity account, because that money is generating me money. So if I need to pull money from that dividend that coming in every month, $5,000 or $6,000, I just pull it from the dividend and do what I need to do and keep it moving. If it's more than that, I use a credit card and use the same dividend to pay back the credit card. Guys, you know what? The video is getting long. We can talk about this all day. But this is why I don't have a savings account. Okay? For me, this is why I don't say I put money in a savings account, because, like I said, it's a waste of time for me. That money, it can generate me 12, 15%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, depending on what I put it into, right? Why would I put that money into those accounts? Right now, I got money sitting in PLTY, with like $50-something thousand. At this point right now, when I checked last, it was like $65,000. Okay, and it went down, but I don't need it till next month. Well, this month, the month's already ended, so to the end of this month. So I don't need to pull money out of that account until the end of this month, right? And I don't need to pull all of it. I didn't need to pull 20 grand, and I need like 60. Right? So I can say, you know what? I can collect another $7,000 in dividend and let it sit there and pull money, because I got another 9,000 sitting there that I haven't done nothing with. I can put that into something that's gonna pay me, like maybe Misty or whatever, that's gonna pay me, you know, a few dollars, right? And when it recovers, at the rate it is, when it recovered back to where it was, then I can sell it and move the money. Or before it pays the dividend, I look at it and say, well, you know what? It paid $5 or whatever in dividend. That's about $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Okay, that's good, but it's already high already. Do I need to wait until I get that? No, I can sell, pull my money out now instead of wait for the dividend to recoup, because it's going to take me weeks for the dividend to recoup, and I need 20 grand. You know, but you know what? I'm not here to confuse you guys. It's simple. If you need a certain amount of money, right? Let your dividend income replace your job. It's possible. Let your dividend income replace your job. Because if it does, then you never have to worry about work or am I going to get fired. People get fired not for any kind of reason. Okay, my boss can see me making videos about finances. You know what? We don't need you making videos about finance. Stop making a video or we're going to let you go. So me being the kind of person I am, stubborn, what do you think I'm going to say? Okay, thank you. Right? I might have to make some changes to my life, but I know for sure my portfolio that's generating $40-some thousand, even if it go down to $30-some thousand, I only need 10 of that to live comfortable like I live now. And I don't even spend that much money out of my portfolio because I'm paying bills. I'm paying stuff off. Getting that credit score up so we can put that money later on, we can invest into this real estate stuff where I can go from being just an investor to a developer, because I want to develop real estate, not just be a real estate investor, invest in real estate. I want to be a developer, go to the other side and build my own stuff. Okay, guys? Now, this video can go on and on. But all I'm saying is, if you want to save money and you're having problems saving money, don't start with the big numbers. Start with $10. Just like I tell you in your investment portfolio, start with $5, $10 every month. Buy. If you want to have, I tell you guys all the time, have about 50 positions in there. And once you get all those 50 positions paying you $1 each every month, that's $50. Right? That's $50. And then you go from 50 to $2, $3, $4. Slow motion, guys. In 5 to 10 years, at a slower rate with a lower income, you can get there. But it's not going to take that long. I'm just exaggerating on that number. But it's not going to take that long. Within 2 to 5 years, that portfolio will be generating you 20, 30 grand every single month. If you just start throwing $100 every paycheck in there, or $200 or $500 every time you get paid, if you split it up, $500 a paycheck every month, not a paycheck, $500 every month, that's $250 a paycheck into your investment portfolio. And you don't even have to invest in the crazy extreme high yield stuff. Invest in something that's paying between 5 to 20% yield. There's a bunch of stuff out there. You can go to JEPI, the JEPQ, SHDs, the VOO, there's a little lower yield. Some of the Qs, right? Invest in some of those things. There's a bunch of stuff out there. Divi, right? GPACs. There's a bunch of things out there that you can invest in. Mean Capital, MO, okay? I'm just calling out some stuff that you can put your money into that will pay you 4, 5, 6, 9, 12% returns. And over time, and these things, the names I'm calling, this is not stuff that you say, NAV erosion. Somebody asked me the other day, he said, Edwin, what the guy said? He's like, so how about NAV erosion? That was the question. After I posted how much money I generated this past month, he said, or she said, who it was, right? I don't know for sure. NAV, how about NAV erosion? And I response to the question was, how about NAV erosion? Because I mean, there's something I talk about in my other videos. So maybe this person was the first time watching the content, so maybe they don't know. But I talk about that all the time, right? We talk about this all the time, because for extreme high yield investor like myself, it is key, it's critical, right? I have $100,000 that's my portfolio is down right now due to position drop and all this other stuff. That's why I tell you guys, if the position is getting too bad, sell out of it, go into a different position that generate income, right? That's what we do. I'm an income investor. I invest in dividend to pay me income, so I can enjoy it now, right? I want to retire at 55. I might be able to retire sooner. Like I told my boss the other day, I say, whenever I leave this job, or you get tired of me, and I leave this job, I'm not going to go look for another job. For what? I get recruiters call me all the time, but do I have time to interview for a job that I have to be in the U.S. to work? No. Right? If I sell everything that I have in the U.S. and move to Colombia, or go to Portugal or Spain or any other country outside the U.S., I don't need to spend, $50,000 a month, or $20,000 or $10,000 a month. I don't need to spend that. I'm spending $40,000+ on a house that I spend half my time in a year. That's a salary right there for some people. But I can't, right now I just can't see myself selling it. I might do a 1031 exchange with that, and put that into something else. But just to sell it for selling sake, I can't see myself doing that right now. It's kind of hard because I put a lot of things into the property to make it my own. But I'm still attached to it. But at some point, that attachment is going to wear off. And when I do, I'll sell it or 1031 exchange it into maybe some land or something, right? I think that might be the best bet. I don't know if I can 1031 exchange it into a land. I need to look into that. See? I need to look into that. If I can 1031 exchange that into a land, or it have to be an actual property, there's plenty of land what I need to buy for my investment when I start. So I can 1031 exchange that into some land, spend $500,000 on some land, maybe 10, 15 acres. Probably gonna be that much for in the area that I wanted to. Maybe it'll be like 2 or 3 acres, maybe 4. I know there's some land that's close to where I live now. I think there's like 2 acres, about 250. So I cannot 1031 exchange into that. I got to 1031 exchange to something like equal value or more. So I definitely can do that. So but it's something to consider, something to look into if it's possible, right? But guys, I've been talking so much. Look at the time. I've been talking for like 40-some minutes. That's a lot, right? For somebody who didn't have nothing to talk about before I started this camera, I've been running my mouth for 43 minutes. My daughter mom is in there laughing at me. She never really seen me make a video like this. Usually she'll walk in and I'll be like, but she actually sitting there doing whatever she's doing on her phone. And she'll look up and be laughing at me. So I don't know if she's laughing at me or laughing at what she's looking at on the phone. I have no idea. Guys. But guys, thanks a lot for subscribing to the channel. It's one of those things that we look at and say, wow, beautiful day. It's Sunday. It feels like Saturday to me, but it's Sunday. And it rained here last night like crazy. But it's Sunday. Okay, it's hot outside, it's humid, and we've been walking around and went to the mall and stuff like that. But it's good to be back in the house. I'm gonna go take me a shower and relax, maybe catch a movie or something. But we're gonna do this again tomorrow. Hopefully, the market do amazing tomorrow, as we continue to see how misty, how we gonna to balance our portfolio out for misty. That's my thing. Trying to get to buy more shares for Misty as I continue to grow the portfolio and dollar cost average down. That's the key. Okay, that's the key. Until tomorrow, guys, I love you guys. Still blessed. Peace out.